from that, understand what can happen in certain conditions versus other bits and pieces. So, yeah.
So next car on our entry list order, Clayton Hoy. Now, he had a problem, of course, at Gippsland. It was such a big opportunity for him to put a gap on the field in the Wolf Production Cup.
Yeah, but class act. He's been so good here so far this morning. Love listening to him. I mean, production cars probably not as much of a disadvantage on these high-speed roads, but to be, 11 seconds off the lead, a second a K through these high-speed roads, he's had a very good morning.
Clayton, you've been flying out there, haven't you?
I don't know. How'd I go in that one?
Oh, I haven't seen the times just yet. How did it feel for you out there?
The first two weren't the best for me, but this stage here was quite good. A lot faster here. A little bit of turbo lag with the car. I think maybe I need a new turbo, but other than that, still got plenty of power and, yeah, going well.
And is the sweeping factor helping you, do you reckon?
The sweeping? Not really, maybe a little bit.
Well, best of luck for the rest of it then.
Thank you.
I mean, Alex, we know had that spin, but would you believe, Clayton Hoy is 0.1 of a second off fourth at the moment, mixing it in with the R5 cars. He's a real talent, we keep saying. He's got, he's in front of Bodie at the moment and Toby from what we've seen on those other stage times.
And first time here.
Yeah, and the same thing. He just says, I wasn't real happy with the first two. I'm like, geez, you wouldn't be liking that as a competitor when you're looking at your stage times going, wow, he's got half a second a kilometre on me, and then he's not real happy with the first two. But just unassuming. I mean, look at the way he answers the question. Oh, how'd I go in there? Just like he's literally driving the hills of Adelaide to call them the wineries and things. But here we are, putting out some bloody great stage times. So.
He is relaxed, and a few turbo gremlins creeping in through the field will keep you up to date with that.
I wonder on that stuff, it's a feel thing because it's so fast. You're in a high gear a lot of the time. So sometimes when you come off the throttle and back on, the car can feel a little bit doughy from that point of view. Whether there's an issue or not, I don't honestly know. Obviously not behind the wheel, and you've got some experienced punters there. But sometimes,
speaking of,
yeah, well, exactly. Peter Rullo going through here on board the Skoda. Obviously, we haven't got the car fixed. I think we might have a new shell coming for the Hyundai after that big accident in Queensland. He does run this Skoda from time to time, particularly in the State Championship. He'll run that regularly in the West Australian Championship, where he wins rounds of that series. And ironically, because of an issue with parts and a few things last year, in this rally last year, he drove the Skoda. So, looked like a solid morning from what we could see so far. And I think the Rullos tend to do a few tarmac events around Adelaide. I said, have you got a home here or something, mate? You tend to rock up and enjoy doing these Adelaide. And Alex already said that, really enjoying the stages. I suspect Peter's doing the same, although I would think take a little bit of time to be fully up to speed and confident, particularly after that, coming off that big crash in Queensland. So.
Hey, Peter, on paper, it looks like you've had a really solid start to your weekend.
Yeah, look, it's taken a little while to get the confidence back, but that stage felt really good.
I was going to ask, how are you feeling out there then?
Yeah, look, can't really say it on camera, but I'm starting to build the confidence back.
Well, best of luck with that confidence for the rest of the weekend.
So reading between the lines, I think Peter perhaps a little anxious out there this morning. And fair enough, it was a big crash. And, I mean, you've been there. It takes a bit to get back in the car and resettle.
And the thing is, on these high-speed roads, if you're having a lift here and there, you burn time. I mean, and you look at the stage times there. Yeah, look, he's probably 3 seconds a kilometre off the pace, where so far up to that, the first 6 cars have been a second a K off. So, he won't be overly delighted with that, but this is a rally that you've got to try and find your form, get your confidence back. I see he's sporting the full-face helmet as well. He doesn't normally run a full-face helmet. I'm wondering whether that's a change, a deliberate change, or what's going on there. But you sometimes get pretty hot in the car, and particularly the full-face helmet doesn't actually help that too much. So, change for him. Not that important.
Doesn't help with 30 degrees tomorrow, that's for sure. Troy Dowel, a little bit like Alex learning from Hayden. Troy, of course, learning from within the team at Neil Bates Motorsport, but he had an issue at Gippsland as well. But gee, he's shown some incredible pace, hasn't he, at times this year? And
the thing is, he'd be the same, just probably ruining the fact that they made a bit of a mistake in one of the rounds early in the year and damaged the car. I think particularly in Queensland, and couldn't get back out there and then that mechanical. So just wants to get his teeth into it a bit and do well on the in this particular rally to get the confidence up. I think he's enjoying being around the Neil Bates Motorsport team and that environment. And, of course, this is a championship-winning car, AP4, a little bit different to Harry and Lewis's car. And that takes a bit of time to acclimatise. I suspect he's probably just ramping himself up, and we'll see a bit better pace from him later in the rally. But that's the way to approach it for sure.
Hey, Troy Dowel, you had some mechanical issues in Gippsland, but how's the car going so far this morning?
Yeah, pretty good. yeah, struggling to get a rhythm. It's like the stages are quite tricky to start off the rally with. So, yeah, just really try to get back into the groove and, see how we go later.
Are you hoping just for a trouble-free weekend then? Just find that rhythm and get through?
Yeah, especially for this rally. It's such a, high speed, a lot can go wrong. So you sort of just want to have a clean weekend, yeah.
Well, I hope you have a clean weekend too. Good luck.
And just picking up on the point from Troy, stage 1, I got told, a bit out of rhythm to the rest of the morning. So maybe that's what caught Lewis out. So he's saying, a little bit tricky to start the rally. Stage 1 particularly, I think, was different to what we expected. It's the first time they've run that stage for many, many years, etc. So that can catch you off guard. You get used to stage 1 and then you bounce into stage 2, which the rhythm changes, and then we've got this big high-speed 10K stage. So that's a change as well.
Bodie Reading, the defending champ in the Wolf Production Cup, but gee, that is so competitive, that class this year. And you've got Toby Price coming up. He's been thrown into it this time around too. So Bodie was just saying it's a dream come true to take on Toby and see himself named on an entry list with a 2-time Dakar rally.
Yeah, how cool is that? And, you are mixing it literally against each other. Bodie got him in the first one. I think Toby fought back on the next. Coming into this stage, there was only 5.7 seconds between those two. So I'd reckon Clayton skipped ahead a little bit. I'll be interested to see what Bodie's approach is. I reckon he'd be definitely keeping an eye on his mirrors at the moment. That'll be a good battle to watch between these guys. Similar. Bodie's got an older version WRX. You look at Toby's an Evo 9, slightly newer model and things, but we know Bodie can definitely punt along very well.
Hey, Bodie, you had a great round in Gippsland. Obviously, that's given you a bit of confidence, but Clayton's got a bit of pace this weekend. How are you finding it out there?
It's hard in this old car. It's just this is Evo country, unfortunately. Just all the big straights, and we lack a lot of top speed. So on a lot of the quicker stages, they'll probably get us by a fair bit, but we'll just keep battling on, see what we can do.
Battling or?
Battling in my eyes, yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like it on the timesheets for us. Good luck out there.
Yeah, thanks.
Bodie, his own harshest critic, isn't he? And that maybe is why he's so successful. Interesting, his explanation there about this being Evo country.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I guess out of the whole Subaru-Mitsubishi battle throughout its time, and particularly when you look at production, it was probably a known thing that the Evos probably have a little bit more power. The Subarus probably handle a little better. So you'd think in trickier condition, when it's a bit twisty and stuff like that, the Subarus probably have a bit of a leg up. And, in outright pace, the Evos have probably got a little bit on the Subaru. So, but the thing is, what's smart about him now is he's playing to his strengths in regards to, well, I'm not going to overdo it. I'll play a strong game, not make mistakes, and we'll see how these guys cope with it or not. So Toby Price, WRX Challenge is what we've seen him competing in earlier in this year's EROAD Australian Rally Championship. This time around, though, he's in the Wolf Production Cup, so he's in the Evo, and his eyes were like dinner plates, I think it's fair to say. Earlier today, he was talking about the challenge, the speed, and it seems like he has, in fact, had a problem. Yeah, looks all in there, so that's a bit of a drama. We're just obviously hearing those reports in, and they'll probably send some people through to have a check that out. But been doing WRX Challenge, and this is a car that he has driven a little bit in state championship rallies.
So what's the difference in terms of moving from the WRX Challenge to this car? Different in its power delivery?
Yeah, because it's got a little bit more modification in regards to what you can do, active diffs. Obviously, the challenge is a control category in regards to being limited in what you can do. All the cars are identical. This has got a little bit more power, sequential gearbox, like I said, active diff, so it's a little bit more competitive from that point of view.
Toby saying last night that Rally 2, that's his aim. That's what he wants to do. I mean, yes, it takes a bit to bring a program like that together, but how good to hear a guy that's a multiple Dakar winner, 9-time Fink winner, saying that that's where he wants to be.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that he's loving the sport we love, and the fact that he goes, I want one of the more outright type cars to be involved in, and that's exciting for the Australian Rally Championship.
All right, so at this point, we're going to wrap things up, and we'll keep you up to date with everything Subaru for Results Hub. That's all the times for you, and we'll also be at Galvanised Insurance Rally Central, where you'll bring you all the breaking news throughout the rest of the day, and then back later this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you then. We'll keep you up to date with Toby and everything else throughout the rally on our socials here at the EROAD Australian Rally Championship.